A warning of World War III. Will Russia respond with a tactical nuke? Hey everyone, how are you doing? We're really happy to have you all here from around the world. If you're new, welcome to the family. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Are we on the edge of a nuclear war? After the humiliating strikes that hit the heart of Moscow, could President Putin actually press the red button? Honestly, we've talked before about the ongoing attacks over the past few days, and today there's a lot of talk about 4 catastrophic scenarios that might happen, so let's break down what's going on. Russia is making some very unusual moves. Today even top experts are warning about what might come next. I'm your brother, Muhammad Asam. Welcome to the channel. Peace be upon you all. I hope you're doing well. As we discussed previously, there have been some serious hits. Look at this, for example. This footage shows a Ukrainian drone strike. Here you can see one of the trucks that was hit. Ukraine used over 140 drones to strike military airports deep inside Russia, targeting strategic aircraft. Ukraine publicly claimed they hit 40 or 41 planes, but Western media says that's exaggerated. According to them, it was more like 12 or 13 planes, most of which were 2 strategic nuclear bombers. One was also an early warning aircraft. Regardless of the exact numbers, this was a major blow to Russia's image and pride, both in front of its people and the world. We also talked before about the hit on the Crimean bridge, but today Russia says the bridge is working normally. If this strike had been as powerful as the first one 2 years ago, the bridge would have been shut down again. They admit the strike happened, but it didn't cause major disruption. Still, we've got some very serious developments. Russia fired an Iskander missile at an Iris-T system, as if to say an eye for an eye. But this might just be the beginning. So, is it actually possible that a nuclear strike could happen? I'm not going to exaggerate or scare you, but let's look at the facts. According to Kyiv Independent, the U.S. envoy Kurt Volker said this attack, called Spiderweb, is basically like playing with fire, and the consequences could be catastrophic. He stressed that this situation is extremely dangerous because Ukraine attacked part of Russia's nuclear triad. No one knows how Putin will react, but this marks a serious escalation. This isn't just anyone saying this, it's the official U.S. envoy to Russia and Ukraine, someone Trump appointed specifically to deal with this crisis, and now he's warning that the consequences could be disastrous. Now let's hear from the military side. The Daily Mail reported statements from Colonel Richard Kemp, who used to lead British forces in Afghanistan and served on the UK Parliament's Intelligence Committee. So we're talking about someone with real weight. He knows exactly what he's talking about. He said this situation could lead to disastrous results. The newspaper also noted that both Putin and Trump are being unusually quiet, and that silence is causing major concern in Ukraine and the West. According to Kemp, there are 4 possible scenarios Putin might go with, especially if he's looking to restore Russia's pride. First, a tactical nuke on troop concentration. Putin could target a large group of Ukrainian forces somewhere, killing hundreds or even thousands. That would send a massive message. Second, a tactical nuke on a Ukrainian airport. He could strike an airport, especially one where British or NATO experts are stationed. This would also have major repercussions. Third, strike a nuclear reactor in Ukraine. This would cause an environmental disaster, not just from the nuke itself, but also from the damage to the reactor. These reactors can't withstand a tactical nuclear strike. A regular missile maybe, but not a nuke. That would be a nightmare scenario. And fourth, nuke a major city. This is the most dangerous possibility. Putin could hit a major city like Odessa or Kiev with a tactical nuke, potentially killing hundreds of thousands in an instant. What would happen next? According to Kemp, the United States would respond with a surgical tactical nuclear strike aimed at Russia's nuclear infrastructure. That would likely push Russia to respond again, and then it's full-on nuclear war. He called it global suicide. Look, I know all of this sounds terrifying, but these warnings are being reported by the Daily Mail. You can go check it for yourself. We're talking about serious people with real knowledge and insight. The U.S. envoy, Kurt Volker, warned that the situation is escalating fast and any reaction could be extreme. Also, Colonel Richard Kemp, who used to command British forces in Afghanistan and is a member of the UK Parliament's Intelligence Committee, talked about 4 possible scenarios he expects. He also pointed out something important. Unlike Russia, the UK and Europe don't have tactical nuclear weapons. He said Britain only has the Trident missile system, which is a full-scale strategic nuclear weapon. So, if Britain tries to respond to a Russian tactical nuke strike on Ukraine, they wouldn't be able to match it equally. They'd be forced to respond with a massive nuclear strike, not a small tactical one, which could lead to a much bigger conflict. That's a terrifying scenario. On top of that, Sergei Shoigu, Russia's Secretary of the National Security Council, just traveled to North Korea. Reports say it's to discuss or activate defense strategies between Russia and North Korea. And this brings us to a very important point. Is Shoigu's visit part of a long-term Russian plan to secure North Korea's support in case of a large-scale war? We don't have solid confirmation, but in the middle of all this current tension, people are starting to ask questions. I told you yesterday, Russia isn't reacting blindly to Ukraine. Russia is playing like a chess master. They're thinking a few moves ahead. They're not just reacting to Zelensky or Ukraine anymore. They're watching what NATO will do. So, is Shoigu's trip to North Korea just a diplomatic move? Or is it to secure real military support in case war breaks out on a larger scale? That's now a huge point of debate. Also, and this is based on eyewitness accounts, not official sources, there are reports of unusual Russian military movements happening right now. People on the ground are saying they're seeing things that aren't normal at all. Tanks, convoys, serious activity. All of this points to one thing: a Russian response is definitely coming. But for now, Russia is staying silent, and that silence is making people even more nervous. Now let's look at Europe's side. According to the New York Times, Europe is strongly backing Ukraine, and they're actually happy about the latest developments. The article says that while there's a chance the United States might scale back its support, Europe sees Ukraine as the cornerstone or shield between Russia and the rest of the continent. Basically, they're saying Ukraine is the frontline buffer between Europe and Russian aggression. In 2025, Europe gave Ukraine nearly $25 billion in support. Germany alone gave about $5.4 billion, including advanced missile systems. So Europe is heavily investing in this war and fueling it even further. But the article also says something critical. If the United States pulls out, that would be a game changer. Why? Because America provides two vital things. Intelligence. Ukraine's military actions are completely dependent on United States intel. The United States has the advanced tech needed to monitor Russian military movements in real time. And that's what allows Ukraine to launch precise strikes. Patriot missile system. This is Ukraine's main air defense shield right now. Without it, they'd be far more vulnerable. Again, I'm not making this up. This is straight from the New York Times. It's all out there in black and white. And so what does this mean? It means Europe will keep supporting this war, and they're not going to let Zelensky agree to Russia's terms to end it. From Europe's point of view, if Ukraine gives in, then they're the ones giving in too. And that's not something they're willing to do. In the end, what we're seeing isn't just Russia reacting to a drone strike. We're standing at the brink of something much bigger. This could turn into a situation that demands a NATO military response.